Tristen Keys is the highest rated prospect, receiver prospect 24/7 has. Have him at a 5-star. Right now committed to LSU, but he's actually getting crystal ball to flip to Tennessee. But as of this watching, he's committed to LSU. Don't have any inside information. Just going to get started here. Just taking a look at his intangibles or whatever. We only have height and weight, and even those are very often inaccurate. But 6'2.5", 180 from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I never understood how to pronounce that city's name. Hattiesburg. Like I said, committed to LSU. So I'm just gonna get this video started. Already watched him when I cut up his TikTok. If you guys want to check out a shorter form video, I have a YouTube short out there. This is gonna be the highlight tape in its entire duration, so a bit more information, and it's also going to give my opinion on this kid at the end, but just let it run here. So at 6'2", you're not watching a guy that's going to absolutely dominate at the catch point, but I think his vertical makes up for that. I think he honestly plays more like 6'4". We've seen him win every jump ball so far, but with some of these taller kids, 6'2.5" to be on the taller end, sometimes you worry about them changing direction, all that kind of stuff. This kid's a strider, I think, when he has the ball in his hands, in the sense that he's got some serious long speed, but at the same time, I think he's I don't want to say a nuanced route runner, but we haven't really seen him run all that many routes yet. But when he has the ball in his hands, I think we've seen him change direction, and I think that translates to the route running. So at 6'2", 180, you're going to say the kid's a bit stretched out. You wish he was a bit heavier, a bit more built, but you got to remember this is a junior year highlight tape we're watching, and he hasn't spent a single season in the Baton Rouge weight room yet. So I think once he puts on, 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle, you're looking at a kid that's, I'm not going to say dominate the SEC because he's still a high schooler, and I try to pump the brakes on these kids, but, this is about as good as a receiver prospect's going to get in my eyes. I really don't know that he's left anything to be desired here. like I said, the only thing is the weight, but you can put on weight, you can't put on height. Not that I know of. They haven't come up with a way to really stimulate your growth yet. And he's already 6'2.5", working with a lot there. I think he's very smooth coming out of his stance, very explosive. Like I said, this kid's a top prospect in the country for a reason. So. It's nice to see some physicality to end the video here. Sometimes these receivers, it doesn't look like they play football. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on, but I'd like to see the stalk blocking show up at the end there. So we're gonna go ahead and give him a 5 on the frame, 5 on the route running. I think 5 on the burst, 5 on the ball skills, 5 on the long speed, 5 on the short area quickness. So 5 is the second highest grade for anything. I think I've watched prospects and give him 6 before, but then they'll be like 3 or 4s in burst. Just say it's a jump ball guy. Okay, 6 on the ball skills, but they're just not quite as fast. I think this kid's one of the most well-rounded prospects I've ever seen. An 83. I don't want you to think like that's not a Madden grading. It's just kind of an aggregate of everything, and there is a premium when a kid does everything well and not a specialized. Like sometimes you'll see a specialized kid get a similar grade. This kid's very well-rounded. Very well could be one of the next best LSU receivers. Such a high standard that position has at that school. But we'll see if he ultimately ends up there. But yeah, definitely a top prospect in the country.